Hi, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums. This is the second part of the tutorial in the series on how I made this Happy Camper camping log. There is a walkthrough showing you all of the features in this book, and then there's also the part 1 of the tutorial showing you how I put the cover together, the hinge system, and the base pages. This video shows you how I cut the decorative paper, make the accordion pocket, using the cut-aparts for the flaps, and then where to put those cut-aparts. So make sure that you check out all of the videos in this series, and don't forget to like after you're done watching this. All right, and here we go. All right, I'm going to show you how I cut the papers and decide how to decorate my book. I usually don't delve into that. I'll usually just show you how I've decorated, but I want to show you how I do this one. So this mini album I've measured, and I've determined that for the front covers you need to cut 4 7/8 by 8 13/16. Now you can cut it how you want. I tend to like a smaller margin. 13/16 would just give me not even 1/8 of an inch on both sides. So that's just how I like it. If you like a bigger margin, then you could probably go 8 3/4 by 4 3/4 if you want to make it simple. So you'll need 3 of those, because I'll do the front cover, the inside front cover, and the outside back cover. I am going to put an accordion pocket on the back because I have some things I want to put in there. And plus, when I put on the pages, I made sure that there was a lot of room for an accordion page. So there's that. Now you'll also need, for each of the pages, you're going to have the front flap, front and back, and then the back flap, front and back. So you'll need for each of the signatures 4 sheets of 4.5 by 8 5/16. You'll also need some for the inside of the pocket. Now you don't need to go all the way to the bottom. You can if you have enough paper, but if you go 6 inches, that's more than enough. So for that you would need 4.5 by 6. And then you'll need for the pocket, and then there's 10 pockets because there's 5 signatures, front and back of the center, 2 5/16 by 4.5. And this is all going to be in the description box. So you can go ahead and take the papers that you have and cut out all of those. And what I like to do is grab my, if you have one, my ATG, and just put a single little dab of glue in the center and put the paper there, so I can mix and match and figure out how I want it to go. So that's how I get set up, and I'll show you that as I do it. The papers that I'm working with are the Outdoor Adventures by Stephen Duncan, and this is a collection kit with 12 double-sided 12 by 12 papers, and then the sticker sheet. And then I also have the 6 12 by 12 double-sided coordinating solids. So I have just enough, but this is a couple of things I'm going to do. All right, here's the cover page, and an interesting thing about it is if you need some extra elements, you can cut these out, and you could always cut this out for your title if you want to use that. Now it says by Stephen Duncan, which, you know, that's fine. It's so small you don't even notice it, and if it does bother you, you could take a sticker and put it over there. Here's the sticker sheet, and I'm just going to put that out of the way. I also have the ephemera kit and a dimensional stickers. Now there are 3 cut-apart sheets in this collection. And one of these cut-aparts, maybe Happy Camper, maybe Let's Go, I will use on the cover page. I always like to have titles. I love to have titles. But if you're going with a fishing book, there's this or this. If you're going with a hiking book, you can use the Let's Wander. You could use the bear You could use outdoors if it's just an outdoors book. So you have lots of options what you want to do. And don't forget, these are 3x4. So I know I'm going to use all of these one way or another. The back of that is just the stripes, which is really nice, and I wish I could use that, but I'm going to sacrifice the stripes for these great cut-aparts. If you need the extra one, don't forget to order extra sheets from Country Craft Creations when you're ordering the collection pack. Sometimes I'll order the pack plus 2 extra sheets for the cover, front and back, and just go that way. Another page that I loved was this one, and I know I've gone over it in my haul video, but I think I want to do something different with this and save this for a second project. So I'm just going to take this and put it aside and pretend it doesn't even come with the kit. This cut apart sheet is fabulous, except for the fact that my pages won't allow for something, the 6-inch ones. Now it'll allow for these, but not the 6-inch ones. But I could use these for the backs of some of the cut aparts if I want, or just forget about this one entirely. I mean, as much as I love that, I mean, I love them all. This back page I could use. So I might sacrifice all these cool ones for this back page. And then these other pages I'm just going to cut up, and then as I cut them I will decide which side I'm going to use. Of course, when you're cutting them you have to remember to, in this page it doesn't matter. You could have a shooting star a couple of different directions, and you can have this a couple different directions, but obviously there's a top and bottom to this, so just keep that in mind when you're cutting. I love the border page, love this, but I don't think I'll be able to utilize it. So in that case, this is the page I'm going to use. There's that. Now this page I believe I'm going to have for the cover. Usually don't like the white background for a cover, but I'll probably put it on a red or blue or another color background just so the white pops. And then if I have a title, let's say I did do Happy Camper, I would put that on red also and put that on the cover. I just love this page, so I want it to show. Now another page that I have problems with is this, because this is so beautiful. So the problem with this is I can't really use this on a page. I mean, I can, but now I'm cutting apart a lot of the cut aparts. I can't use it on a pocket because it's still, this is 4 inches and I need my pocket to be 4.5, so I'd have to add some to each side. I mean, I could make it work. And then these are 6 inches, and I guess I could use that for a pocket, but I would be losing some. So I think I might take this along with this page and save that for a second project. So now I'm losing 2 sheets I'm losing this one also. So it's good that I have this coordinating solids, because I'll need 20 pages to fill the main page, 3 for the front and back covers, and then an extra 10 for inside the pocket pages that only need to be 6 inches. So just keep in mind you may need to supplement with additional. I do have some of this that came from Country Craft Creations. It's My Colors cardstock. I don't remember what the color, well, it is the 12x12 daffodil with dots. Good, that was there. So you may need to supplement with some extra cardstock. That goes with that. All right, so that's my main plan. I'm going to start cutting, and I've already given you the measurements, so you know that you can get 2 of the album covers or 2 of the pages from one, and then you will have enough left over, because it goes to 8 5/16, and for pockets it's less than 3, so you will have just enough for pockets out of this. So, all right, now we're going to tackle what's on the back cover, and it's a pocket with a flap, and it's an accordion pocket. Come on, camera. So you can add a lot of things to it. So let's start with the bottom piece, 9 3/4 by 4 1/2. And you're going to score, well, let's do the long side first. Score at 1/2 inch, whoops, 1/2 inch, and at 3/4. So you go another 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch and 3/4. Okay, now that's the bottom, so put the top long side at the top of the scoreboard, and we're going to score every 1/2 inch to 2 1/2. So 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2. Now rotate it completely around and do it again. 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2. You'll also need, the top piece is 6 1/2 by 4 3/4. So go ahead and score that. And we're going to score that at, I've already done it, so I'm sorry, but you'll score it same as this, 1/2 inch and 3/4. So that way the pocket, the top flap has a little bit of room for expansion. All right, so now that we've done all that scoring, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut across those. Well, we'll go across 4 score lines and stop at the 5th, just right on the 2nd score line. So it went right here, right across these score lines, stop at the last one on that 2nd score line, and then go ahead and score on that last score line up to the top. Okay, so we'll do the same here. I'm going to go from the bottom up through 1 score line, stop at the 2nd one, then I'm going to rotate it, and we'll go across those 4 score lines and stop at the last one. Okay, that is all the scoring and cutting we need to have done. I'm going to grab some 3/8 of an inch score tape. I'm going to try to come in a little. And focus. Okay, I'm going to take this score tape and we're going to run some along that bottom, just that bottom score. And then I'm going to turn that over and I'll burnish that at the 1/2 inch and at the 3/4. Okay, let us fold in on both sides, and then we'll accordion it. So it's folded in, then folded out, in, out, in. And same with the other one, folded, it's folded in, folded out, in, and burnish with your bone folder. And now take your score tape and run it along the top. And burnish that real well too. All right, now just peel off the backing of that score tape about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. I'm just folding it out of the way. I'm going to hold this down and pull this so it meets, and hold that down. So you're going to have a 1/2 inch. I want it to be even so it could stand almost. And then you have that score tape on the back. So peel that off, and then that is going to go on the back cover, and you're going to put it close to the bottom and over to the outside edge. Keep it away from the inside fold where the back cover folds. Just try to stay away from that. So that is how we do that. I already had done it and didn't like the recording, so that's why it's all done. Okay, now you're going to cut the papers to go on the top. So the pocket is 3 5/8 by 4 1/2. Where is that one? Here. 3 5/8 by 4 1/2. And the flap, you need 2 of them, 5 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then the inside, I didn't have a piece that long. I went as long as I could. And let me just measure that real quick. So that's 4 1/2 by, I did 8 3/4. So do that. Now don't adhere these yet. What we're going to do is make the library style closure. So you'll need a 1/2 inch circle punch. And I've got this spare piece of cardstock. I'm going to cut 4 holes. And then I'm also going to cut a hole, where is it? Which one should I use? Too bad I didn't have a piece that I could. Can I go like that? Nope, can't do it. Can I do the back to nature? I could, but you know what? There's going to be a hole in it, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut a piece of that stripe. I don't like this one. I'm going to do another one. I want all the little stripes in there. Okay. All right. Let's glue. So I'll put glue on the 2 black ones, or whatever color you're using for your cardstock base. And this will go here. That'll go here. Same with that. And that. And then just make sure that it's nice and round. Squish it a little bit so the glue goes all the way through. Since the edges are showing, I'm going to take some Distress ink. Here's my brown. Now, if you distress the pages, that's entirely up to you. All right, and then take a hole punch. In this case, I'm using the crocodile because it will go through those layers so easily. And then you'll need a couple of brads. So there we go with that one. I'm not going to put this one on yet. I'm going to grab the paper that I want to use. All right, so that'll go right there. So I want this one to go to center it. I'm eyeballing it. I'm pretty happy with that, so I'll make a pencil mark there. And then here is the top piece. I rounded the corners, so that's going to go there. And that'll go like that. So now I know exactly where it's going to go. I'm going to punch holes in it. And then I can add my brads. I'm going to do the bottom one first. And I'm adding a piece of score tape right across that, just to make sure it stays in. Now before you do the top one, grab some string. So I have string and I'm going to thread it and I'll put it in the back. But first I'm going to grab my brad. Alrighty. Spread the tines of the brad. And I'm going to, guess I'll put the string over that way and put it across like that. So that way the string will stay down. Okay, and then go ahead and adhere this. Onto the front cover. And the back cover, and the bottom pocket. And then don't forget to adhere the inside cover. If you have pattern paper, just be careful of making sure you have the pattern going the right way on the inside cover, especially once you if you use corner rounders, especially once you do that. So then this goes like that. And there we go with the pocket. Simple, huh? Okay, so we can use some of these cut aparts. I am going to make some flaps. The flaps will measure 4 1/4 by 3 11/16. You make 10 of those. Put the short side at the top and score down the long side. Go ahead and miter the corners, and you can use a strong glue or a strong score tape here, whatever you prefer. Now the way I'm putting in my flaps is for every pocket I'm going to put a flap on the opposite side. That actually matches nicely. So the back page has a pocket and we need a flap here. So I'm going to just take it, add my glue, come down about 3/4 of an inch and put it right on the edge. And I'll grab my bone folder and burnish. And then what we're going to do is we'll put the cut apart on the front, and then out of my scraps I've taken just a piece left over, and we'll put that on the back, and that'll give you room to journal if you want. Now you can add a magnet if you want to, so that would be 20 sets of magnets. 10 sets of magnets, so you'd need 20 magnets. I think that's what's in a pack of the small magnets, and I'll show you how we put those on. I just have what's left of a pack. Now these are the small ones, and I'm going to grab a set, so you'll need a positive and a negative. I'll take the positive just because that's what I have and put it here. I don't want it too close to the edge because I want to make sure that it's covered when you put on the whatever you're going to put on the back, whether it's another cut apart or just a 3x4 scrap paper. All right, so since that was a positive one, now I'll take a negative one, peel off the backing. Come here. And put it on there so they're doubled up. And then push it down here, and that's where the magnet needs to be. So when I go ahead through and glue, it's all ready to go. So that's how you put in the magnets and add the cut aparts to the book. So again, you'll need 10 of them that are cut in those dimensions I told you. All right, so now I've got all of the pages cut for the full page, what's in the pocket. I've got extra pieces cut for the pockets just out of my scraps. I had some with a pattern, some plain. I know that I'm going to use stickers, some of the ephemera, well, the stickers, ephemera, and the dimensional stickers to decorate this. But I have to determine which one of my 3x4 cut aparts I'm going to use for the flap for each page. So I'll go ahead and go through it. So these are the pieces I have left to decide from. So I try to match colors and themes, but obviously when you come to it, this guy and his feet look a little lost. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might just highlight it with some Wink of Stella or something. So I know that's going to go there, and then I also need to determine what's going to go on this side, keeping in mind that I will be adding stickers or whatever. So I could go with that if I had a green. I like how cohesive that all looks, don't you? So I think I'll go with that. And then I'm going to go through the book and determine exactly what I'm going to put for the cut aparts and for this for the pocket. So I'll go ahead and do that and then move on to the next step. I hope you enjoyed watching these tutorials on how I made the Happy Camper camping log. If you liked this, please don't forget to hit the like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell for notifications so you find out when the next tutorial is coming up. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.